Hello everyone and welcome back again. Now in this lesson we're going to carry on with our navigation drawer over here, and we're going to start fill in finally our class. This DLMS home class. There's going to be a lot of code. It's really very simple. The idea behind it is really simple. But there's going to be a little bit more code. So yeah, brace yourselves. So we're gonna have, first of all, we need to grab a hold of the layout, because we're gonna actually, this drawer layout, which we have from the, this guy. We're gonna have to grab, we're gonna have to grab a reference to that guy. We're gonna have as well to have a grab on the list view activity, that navigation part, navigation drawer list view. We're gonna have to have an action bar toggle. This is, by the way, it's called the action bar, and we're gonna have here a toggle for it. Let's hope that I didn't forget actually to include that icons. If I forgot, actually, I'm gonna get it right away. All right. We're gonna have to switch the titles every now and then. You're gonna see what I'm talking about here in a second. So I'm gonna have here a private drawer. I'm gonna call this. I'm gonna hit Control Space. Drawer layout. Enter. And let me see here, did I rightly include, there you go. You see, I included the Android support v4 widget drawer layout. This is very, very important that I have. All right, I'm going to call this nav drawer layout. Okay, so we need that reference. Here we're going to have a list view. Let me hit Control Space and include that. List view, nav drawer list. Nav drawer list view, and you can imagine, like when I hit Control Space, actually it's really completed it for me. And we're gonna have a private action bar drawer toggle, because we need to toggle that action bar. We're gonna have to close and open that action bar based on our click. So we're gonna touch. Where is that? Yeah, so I'm gonna click over here, the thing will fly inside from the left to the right. I click again, and this will fly from right to left. So carrying on, I'm gonna have a character sequence here. Now a character sequence in Java is the interface which a string is implementing. So it's like an object which a character sequence is basically a string, and if you look at the string specifications in the Java documentation, you'll find that it actually implements this character sequence interface. All right, so I'm going to call this nav drawer title, because I'm using character sequence here because everything which Android accepts, it's actually accepting this character sequence part. So character sequence at title. I'm going to call this the application title. All right, so I'm going to have the hold on the application title itself and the navigation drawer title as well. So we're going to keep it there. Private string, and right here, I'm going to have an array of strings, and this is for my navigation drawer item titles. And this will hold the list of strings which we have created a couple lessons ago right there. All right, we're going to go inside, once the activity gets created, we're going to go inside this strings XML, and we're going to grab this array and fill it inside this guy. All right, and we're going to have as well private, and then here we're going to have a typed array, and it's, as you can see here, the typed array is coming from android.resource, all right, which is going to hold the icons. So I'm going to call this nav drawer icons. So it holds this array of icons, which we're going to fill it again from here. So we're going to grab the references which we already have put in our strings. I'm just going to be pushing it right inside, because everything is hard coded. If once we get to the database part, once we get stuff from database from the web service, we're going to have to create. We're going to have to fill in the stuff in a little bit different way. We're going to have to make the HTTP request and all these stuff. We're going to see that, you're going to see guys that later. Private array list of navigation drawer item. So as I already said, we're going to create an array of navigation drawer items. And we're going to have called this nav drawer items. All right. And we're going to create one more variable. I'm going to call this navigation drawer list adapter, where we're going to hold this list. We're going to push that array list inside that adapter. And I'm going to call this nav drawer adapter. I have to really write it that way then. Okay, so nav drawer adapter. Okay, so these are the list of variables which I wanted to create. All right, now let's move on and start filling in our stuff. So first of all, I would like to say that this dot app title equals to this dot get title, this dot navigation nav drawer title equals to this dot get title. For now, I'm going to keep them both the same. And this dot drawer item titles, right now I'm going to start filling in that array. So this dot get resources dot get me that string array with the title. So array dot, I have navigation drawer icons and navigation drawer strings. I would like to have the strings because this is the titles, isn't it? You see, titles. And again, this dot nav drawer icons, the list of icons, equals to this dot get resources dot get string array again. And right here, I'm going to grab not the nav drawer icons, not the drawer strings, sorry, but I'm going to grab the icons over here and hit semicolon. So right now we have hold on these resources. Right now we have the titles are here, the icons are here. Now all what we have to do is to create, is to grab this navigation drawer items over here, that array list, and fill it in with these items. So we're going to go ahead and say this dot nav drawer items dot, and then we're going to add. And right here we can specify either add a certain index, or we're just going to grab and add new navigation drawer item. And this is exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to have here new navigation drawer item, and right now I can choose my choose what I would like to actually include. Now, as I said already, we had two constructors over here. The not this one, this guy. The first constructor is taking the label, the icon, the counter, and the boolean if the counter is visible or not. The second one, however, takes the label and the icon only. And this is what I'm in fact I'm gonna actually have. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, and since my strings are by order, obviously, and then materiale, and then obviously here the announcement part has already the number of unread announcements. So in order to do that, we're gonna have to make sure that the first item in our navigation drawer corresponding to that part. So here I'm gonna create the new navigation item, and then here nav drawer item titles of 0. So this is gonna be my label over here. Let me just make sure that I'm following the constructor here. So the first is the label, the second is the icon. All right, so comma, and the second is going to be the icon, which is going to be nav drawer icons of 0. Let me see again. So the first is the string, the second is the icon, the third is the counter, and for me, I'm just going to put the counter to, let's say, 10. So 10 unread. Just I'm going to hard code it there just for you, so you can see how it looks like once we actually get the stuff from there. However, once we construct this, once we show this activity, what we actually going to modify this number based on what we get in the database. And you can see it's, once we separate this layer of database, like this data access layer from the UI, you're going to find out that we're just going to need to pass in just a single variable over here, and that variable will keep updated all the time. All right, so as I said, I'm sorry, I forgot. Okay, so we have the string counter. We are done with that. Oh, it's actually a string, sorry. String. Okay, and we have the Boolean if the guy is visible or not, and he is actually visible, so I'm going to put here as true, and semicolon. Okay. Actually, by the way, not icons of 0. It has to be. I forgot about that, so I have to say dot get resource, and I'm gonna give the resource of 0, the first resource, which is the first guy from the XML right there, the icon. And let me see here, because I'm gonna put actually a number, which is gonna be weird. Just I need to let's see, get resource, and as you can see here, it has a specific value over here. The final, I think it's called the default resource value. So the value to return if the attribute is not defined or not a resource. So I'm just going to return that if it's not in fact a resource, I'm just going to return -1 over here. So 0, -1, right? So end home, Control-C, Control-V, Control-V. Oh, actually not, because I'm going to have to, because I'm going to use another constructor. So I'm going to copy paste that other one. Nav drawer items dot add, and right here I'm going to have a new, again, navigation drawer item, and I'm going to use the other constructor, the simpler one, which is just simply going to have the nav drawer items, actually titles, where is it? Item titles of 1 right now, because I would like to grab the second one, and here nav drawer icons dot get resource, and here is going to be 1, comma, -1, and that's it. And right now I'm just going to hit home and Control-V again, and we're going to just simply change this. So we're going to add 2, 3, so 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And it's very important that we actually cache that. So we're going to say nav drawer items. Oh, sorry, nav. We need to recycle it. So as you can see here, oops. So you can see here from the documentation, it says that so we can actually like kind of cache this array. So once we would like to just cache it in the memory, so we can reuse it later on once we need it back again. So I'm just going to hit here recycle. All right. So right now we need to set the event whenever I am clicking on one of these list items. All right. So here I'm going to have the nav drawer list view dot sit on item click listener and control space new, and here adapter new adapt. Well, actually, as you can see here, I can just simply hit enter over here on item click listener adapter view. And as you can see, when I just hit enter, immediately it implemented everything for me, and it implemented even on item click. And the I over here is in fact the position. So here's the trick. Now, for every item, it has an index. Now, the first item is actually referring to the announcements. The second item is referring to the let me see here. The second item, and since it's hard coded, so the second item is referred to the material, and here the priya is, and then usbih. And everything is really hard coded over here, because anyway it's not going to change. So we need, in order not to clutter our code over here, I'm going to actually separate this into a function. I'm going to call this display fragment, and I'm going to push here the I based on the position which the people clicked in there. And I'm going to create another small private function, private void display, actually control V, display fragment, and it's going to take an integer position. And right here I'm going to write the switch statement for whatever item we click. All right. Now, whatever item we click, we're going to actually say set title to nav drawer item titles of I. So whenever I actually select a page, this title should change to the title of the page which we have, which we are actually selected. So if I select OBVST, it has to be there written OBVST as well. Nav drawer title, actually nav drawer, hang on a sec. Nav drawer list view, that's what I need. List view, okay. Dot set item checked at that position. Hang on a sec. Let me just make sure that I'm actually set item checked. It takes a Boolean value, so it takes a position and a Boolean value, which is I for whatever I selected, and set it to true. Right? So that means it's going to be always checked. Nav drawer layout, and this is very important, close drawer. And what to close? The nav drawer list view. So once I select an item, please close the drawer. So when I select one, when I actually drag it from the side, it will come over here. I select one, it will just simply push it back again to you know, just push it to the side, to the left side. Right, and that's simply it. Let's go ahead and build up our display fragment before we carry on with our code, because there are a lot of overrides we have actually to finish here. So I'm going to create a fragment, the fodder class, the base class equals to null. And I'm going to have here a switch statement over the position. And here I'm going to have a case, if it's case 0. I am going to create a new object out of that fragment. So I'm going to say fragment equals to new OBVST fragment, and that's it. And then break. If it happens to be the first or the second one, that fragment equals to new. And if the second one, by the order of this, our string array, break, it's going to be DL material break. And then we have case 3, apparently, there we go, case 3. Then we're going to create a new object of a fragment, new, and as far as I remember right now, we have to create a Priya fragment, and case, and break, of course. And then case 4, fragment equals to new USP fragment. There we go. And break. And the default is nothing, because we are just simply break there. Because anyway, this guy is going to be null anyway, so we don't really care what's going to happen by default, just break. Okay, so yeah, we got actually displaying the fragment done. Now we need to move ahead and start setting out our, hooking up our navigation drawer adapter to this array and to this array which we have filled over here. So I'm going to have here this dot nav drawer adapter equals to new navigation drawer list adapter. So right now I'm instantiating a new list of that. And as you can see here, it takes, let me just, navigation drawer list adapter. And the problem is I cannot show you, well, actually it's here. And as you can see here, if you remember, we have in our constructor, can I actually open this? Somehow I cannot view it for some reason. Am I missing something? Navigation drawer, no, I'm not missing anything. I'll just hit Control Shift Tab, Control Tab. Somehow I cannot open this for some really crazy reason. Anyway, maybe it's a little bit, okay, there we go. I have to pass in the context, and guess what? I have just simply to pass that array which I filled. There you go, that array and the current context of the application. So I just simply say this dot get application context, and right here nav drawer items. Right now I just filled in the adapter. The only thing which is left is hook up that list to that adapter. So I'm just going to simply say this dot drawer nav, this dot nav, actually drawer list view dot set adapter, and right here we're going to have navigation drawer adapter, and that's it. Just to recap, what we have done here is we grab the titles, we grab the icons, right? We created an array list of navigation drawer items with the icons and the titles which we have. So this is the titles and with the icons which we had right here, right? As we wanted. Then later on we set the list view. We handled the events once a user clicks on an event in that list view. And then we took it even further, and then we just simply said, all right, whenever somebody hits on the list, something will happen, but we didn't fill it yet. So we said, we're gonna fill that list view, but first we need to give it an adapter. Now, you could actually create an adapter of strings, and you can actually fill everything with strings. However, it's a little bit customized. So that's why we created our own list adapter, and we actually pushed in everything which we needed in there. And all what we need to do is just with 2 lines of code at the end, just simply say, here's the application context, here is the navigation drawer which we have built. These items, the navigation drawer items we have built. And just simply set the adapter to that guy. Now the coolest thing about it, this kind of a move, is that right now you don't need actually to touch anything here, right? What you could do, if you for example say, all right, I would like to have the amount of 100 materials. All what you need to do is just simply add here, let's say that the second one is going to be material. You're going to just reuse that constructor instead of just having this other constructor. You're just going to simply use that constructor, and all of a sudden, boom, you're going to actually get that material having that feature. Let's say OvaVST would like to have not only that, for example, that counter. You would like to have another counter, like you have 2 counters. Like one is the total number of announcements yet, and the number of announcements that you haven't read, for example. All what you need to do is just simply go to the navigation drawer item list. You add a new text view, which represents the second counter. Make sure just you add that second counter in that item over here, included in the constructor. Update the list, update the adapter right here. And just simply say that, hey, I included a new control. I would like actually to keep track of that. And you don't even need to touch this part anymore, because anyway, the adapter will automatically say, aha, I got a new control. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to push everything inside. You see, so basically, right now we having the application is somewhat, the view logic is somewhat like loosely coupled, not that very heavily coupled, but loosely coupled. You know, you don't need to make a lot of changes to get some reflection on the reflections or some changes on your UI. All right. Okay, so we got that adapter. Now we need to start actually setting up the toggles, which is going to be quite interesting. So this dot get action bar dot set display home as enabled, and which is you know, because sometimes when you click home, well, we actually going to be like going to the home screen, or sometimes going to the single level in the UI, or not. So you would like, for example, to go from one level to another in the UI if you hit actually the home screen or the home button in the navigation bar. So here I'm going to set it to true now, and oopsie, not this too much home, and actually this dot get action bar dot set home button enable to true. So you're going to see that one as well. Now, we need to set up that toggle. So this dot navigation nav drawer toggle equals to new action bar drawer toggle, and I'm gonna just use that one with the support v4. I'm gonna pass in this dot get application context. Maybe even I could have passed only this, but anyway, we'll see. This dot, and then I have to say what you're gonna actually work with. This dot drawer nav drawer layout, because that toggle will actually start toggling these guys. And here I have to, yeah, I have right now to include the id dot icon. Let me see, do I have the icon underscore drawer? No, and now I have to find that drawer icon. Now the coolest thing about this is that the Android Asset Studio, you have this navigation drawer indicator. So I can even download this as a zip file and grab that, and we're gonna push it in fact to our actually drawable over here. So let me see, app resource main resource again, and then I can okay, let me extract it somewhere outside, and then I'm just gonna move it over here. And right now I got this navigation drawer, right, indicator. So I'm gonna go back. I don't need this guy anymore. So yeah, so we're gonna have to supply our icon as well. What happens when we, what kind of an icon is gonna have it? So r dot drawable dot ic underscore, not the launcher, navigation drawer. Right, let me just make sure that I actually got the right one. Yep, that's the one. All right, so navigation drawer, comma, and we're gonna have to specify what is the application name. So r.string.app name, it's already there, built in, and we have yeah, well, actually, anyway, I'm gonna supply as well again the r.string.app name for the drawer title actually. And right now I'm gonna open a bracket, hit enter, semicolon. This is called the anonymous object, I think, or anonymous class. It's a class that we're gonna instantiate a new object out of only once. And this is somehow, this is like, it's not clearly an anonymous object, but it's a little bit in a different way. Not like the anonymous objects in C#. They are actually quite different. The coolest thing about the anonymous objects in Java, you see in C#, the anonymous objects, they have this base type, which is an object, one of the object class. However, it's actually explicit. It's actually implicit. Sorry. In Java, however, if you would like to create an anonymous object, you have to explicitly say what is the base object. What is the base object you are deriving from? All right. And here I'm deriving from the action drawer toggle. If I had the alt insert, and I have to hunt for the override methods. We have on drawer opened and closed. Would like to override those two. Now, when the drawer is opened, we're gonna have get application, or actually get action bar dot set title. And right here, I'm gonna have the nav drawer title, and when it is in fact closed, and I have to invalidate it. So invalidate option menu, which means update invalidate. It means like update, like redraw the whole thing again, like reload and redraw that action bar again. Get action bar dot set title when it's closed, and I'm gonna set this one to the app title. And here I'm going to have invalidate option menu again. All right, so we're going to have to redraw what we have done. So just when we toggle, we just get the stuff up to date. All right. Next, we're gonna have to have this dot nav drawer. We have to set some drawer listener over here. Drawer layout dot set drawer listener, and I'm gonna have this dot drawer toggle. So I'm referring to this guy. Okay, so this is the guy which is actually going to be responsible for opening and closing the drawer. What happens basically when the drawer is opened and closed? And I could just simply say if saved, because sometimes you would like to saved instant state equals to null. I will just simply say display fragment of 0. And I'm putting this as 0 because, for example, sometimes you can instruct this navigation. This, for example, when you are coming out from login, you can, for example, say, okay, do not go to the first one. You can tell it just go to the next one. And you can actually handle that in your code. If I'm not specifying anything, if this is null, just simply display OVST right away. Okay. Now there are a couple things we need to in fact handle here before we conclude this code writing. There are a couple, how can I put this? We have a couple overrides we need to do. But before we do that, I actually have discovered that I forgot in my display fragment. I created the new fragments all the time, but I forgot actually to assign that fragment. To assign that fragment to our view, in fact, to show it when once we use it. So if fragment doesn't equal to null, we need actually to push that fragment in there. So we have to get this fragment manager of our activity, and I will say begin transaction dot replace, and right here I'm going to replace the r dot id dot this frame container with my fragment, and along with that commit. So right now I just simply grab the fragment which I've created, replace that fragment with that container, replace that container with that fragment, and just simply commit that transaction, like just finish that action. Else, here is very interesting class which I advise you really to use is log.e, and right here you can specify the tag. So I'm going to call this DLMS client, and I'm going to show you how it looks like in action in a minute here. Unable to create fragment. Now, if you remember, this in fact will appear. This log will appear on in the logcat, which you're going to see later when we run our emulator. And while we are at it, actually, I'm just going to go ahead inside my Genymotion over here and go ahead and start this little guy. While we are actually finishing here our overrides. Now, there are a couple functions we need. So I hit Alt Insert, and here I'm going to choose override methods, and we have a lot of them. Now, the first one is going to be on option on prepare, actually, on prepare option menu. Yep, that's the one. So once actually the menu is prepared, once it's actually finished preparing, so we're gonna grab this menu dot find view by ID r dot ID dot action settings dot set visible, and right here. Right now we need actually to hide it. So I'm going to negate this. So this dot nav drawer layout, and then dot is drawer open. And here I'm going to have this dot nav drawer, nav list view, all right? And I'm gonna negate this. So right now I'm actually hiding that menu. So once the menu is prepared and everything, just push it and hide it. And oh, I actually returned that I forgot to return. Okay, super dot on prepare options menu. All right. So I just simply made this small modification. I just simply hidden this guy, hidden this menu, so it will not appear the moment I enter the DLMS home. Once you are done with the prepare options menu, so once you are actually finished with that line of code, you just simply say continue loading all the default parameters, or like what actually the default actions flow would have been gone through. All right, now we're gonna have to have on a sec. All right, so Alt insert. One more override, and here I'm gonna have on post create, and this will be called when whenever after the activity has been created. I'm gonna have here return. Actually, not return because it's a void. Sorry. Nav drawer toggle dot sync. It synchronizes the state of the drawer. All right, and I'm gonna keep it that way. So we're gonna synchronize the state of my drawer, and I'm gonna actually override how we actually gonna set the title over here. So Alt insert, and we're gonna have override methods, and here I'm gonna override set title, because whenever I'm gonna set the title over here, I'm gonna say actually I need the one with character sequence. I would like to say that this dot app title equals to title, which I'm passing over here, plus this dot get action bar dot set title to that title as well. So the action bar and the title of the application are actually going to be set. You know what? Actually, I don't need this. Sorry about that. I'm just going to take out this one. I'm just going to leave it that way right away. Okay, now, so we have option item selected. We are actually going to change it just a little bit. We can actually change it just a little bit, but just let me make sure that we are done with the overrides here. So on prepare options menu, on post create, we have got that. Create the option menu overhead, we already have this inflator default one, so we're going to inflate the main menu, this main menu bar. Although I don't need it, actually I can even comment this part. I mean, I can just simply take that override. Let me see. There we go. Just going to comment that part. Actually, it's control / by the way. Yeah, so this is it. I think I'm just gonna, the only thing which I'm gonna need is just simply adjust this a little bit. So, okay, let me grab this here. And I say, if this dot nav drawer, this problem is everything right now with is modified based on the toggle over here. Let me see here, toggle, there we go. Nav toggle dot option item selected item. We're gonna just simply return true. Right? Otherwise, because you could have actually a couple option items here. So switch on item dot get item ID, and then here we're gonna have two cases. Let me see if I can actually move this. Well, actually, I'm gonna. Well, let me leave it for now because I'm gonna modify it later. Case r.id.action settings. I'm just gonna simply here return true. Just a little bit more modifications here. Default. All right, here return super dot option, selected option. Oh, why I cannot get this super option? Okay. On option item selected. Sorry about that. And here I'm going to have item. All right. So because it's actually going to return Boolean, which is this guy. All right. And these guys, I don't need them anymore. Oh, actually, it's this guy which I was trying to do. I'm just going to simply take them out. Or, I will just comment them just in case. All right. So we are technically done. Hopefully, it's if we don't run into trouble. So let me make sure that our emulator is actually working, which is good. Now I'm gonna start, let's hope that we don't have any errors. I'm gonna start running the application. If I find anything wrong, we're gonna actually, of course correct it. So I'm gonna pause until something happens. And in fact, something actually happened. We got an error over here. Colon is expected, sorry about that. So we're gonna start compiling again. And strings cannot be converted to a typed array, which is kind of interesting over here. Oh, actually it's not getting a string array. Get typed, actually it's not get even, it's obtain typed array. There we go. Because it's actually kind of different here, because I'm referring to not a normal strings anymore. I'm referring to, in fact, like these resources right away. So that's why I obtain typed array. Sorry about that. I actually went really like a train and copy pasted everything. So yeah, I have to be a little bit more careful. Let's move on. And we got another more error. So let me see here. Context cannot be converted to an activity, which I have to pass in the activity itself. So this is going to be this. And I will leave that right there. So I'm going to hit play for now. And one more error. We just keep collecting them apparently. There we go. We need just simply to import that. Let's run this. We have unreachable statement. So why unreachable? Oh, it's actually outside of the switch. Hang on a sec. Sorry about that. So it's inside the switch statement actually. All right, so we can move on. We've got again unreachable statement, which probably, yeah, I don't need this anymore as well because it's already there. Sorry about that. Let's move on. And we can choose our client over here, sign in, and whoops, we got an error. Let's see what happened. And apparently I lost my logcat somehow. I cannot see anything here for some reason. IDB logs, logcat, media. Oh, this is kind of weird. No filters. All right. Let me see here. I'll just compress that guy right there. So unable to start activity, blah, blah, blah. Null pointer exception. I have a null pointer exception right here. caused by a null pointer exception at v2pa this on create right at that line of code. So let me see why I've got a null pointer exception. Have I instantiated this guy, navigation drawer items? Nope, I haven't instantiated, so we need to instantiate that guy. So this dot navigation nav drawer items equals to new of that array list, and that's it. All right. So apparently I forgot to instantiate that array before adding. So okay, we can move on. And we're gonna choose our device here, run everything. This is apparently old one. Let me just simply tell it to run till the end. Weird, I don't know. Let me see. Clean that. For now, let me hit sign in. Now let's see what we have run into. So right now we have a null pointer exception again, a fatal exception. Apparently I haven't instantiated one. Navigation drawer list view. Apparently I haven't got a reference to it, most probably. I didn't say find view by ID or something like that, did I? Oh yes, indeed. I haven't. So this dot nav drawer. Actually, I forgot all of them. Nav drawer layout. I haven't even searched for anyone to get by ID. So yeah, equals to drawer layout find view by ID or actually .id dot drawer layout. That's the first thing. This dot nav drawer list view equals to list view, and then we're going to have the find view by ID, which is r.id. LST navigation bar, which is that one, and we have a third one, I think, or let me see here. We had the layout, we had that guy. I think this is it, and I hope so. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it for that. If we got any errors, we're gonna recognize it right away. Yeah, okay. And we've got one more. Null pointer exception. We have. Oh, wait a second. It's actually here. Find item, drawer, this layout, navigation, drawer, list view. And it says it's actually a null pointer exception, which is weird because I already have found it. Let me see here. Is it publicly available? It is. I mean, it's actually a field over here. Let's see. Well, let me actually revise this again somehow. Maybe I'm missing something. Actually, drawer layout. We have the list view. We have the action toggle, and we have found the. We got them from here. We got them from here as well. We have them. Excuse me. Now you know what? Excuse me. I'm gonna comment this for now. Let me see. I think this will be. I think it should be actually hidden by default. But let me check. Let me double check. Let me run this again. I'm gonna hit OK, and I'm going to sign in. Oh, well, what do you know? Actually, it works. And it's in fact hidden, which is cool. Right? So actually, this is because I'm just scaling the GM functions that's right there, so we're going to get it right. So let me swap there. Oh, there we are. And actually, in fact, it's a little bit up for my taste, I have to say. So as you can see here, you see everything is populated as it should be. You get the icons, you get the text, and you get even the thing is there. Just we need to adjust our layout of our items. So if I select USP, actually nothing is working right now. Materiali. Oh, it's actually working now. USP. Aha, so USP is not working for some reason. OBVST. Materiali. USP is not there. And in fact, I got unable to create fragments 2 of them. 0, 1, 2. 2 and 3, in fact. And let us run this again. So yeah, that's one of the, maybe one of the major reasons why this actually went crazy, but we'll see in a minute here. Okay. And sign in. Actually, I'll clear this. I'll just simply say sign in. So yeah, materiali, fine. Fine. USP, fine. So we are good. We are good. We are good. Now, if I click only and without leaving the mouse, as you can see here, it starts, showing this part. So click, drag, and this is the highlight when I click. And this is my separator here. This is the divider which I was talking about. Let me see. I think maybe just to keep this lesson short, I will not actually delve into it. If not, I maybe gonna make a separate lesson for that. Navigation list item. We have the image view, text view, and then we are going to have OBVST. Now, actually the gravity is center. What I could do, let me see here, wrap content as well. Now, since wrap content is there, what I could do as well is layout Android colon layout center vertical equals to true. And this will actually set it exactly in position. So let me try to run this again. So we can get this really, instead of just floating higher than the icon, to be really centered on the menu list. So it doesn't, have this weird offset. And okay. And there we go. I'm going to hit sign in. So if I click and drag, oopsie, drag. All right, there we go. As you can see here, it doesn't have this weird offset right now. It's really, everything is aligned. And it's actually working, which is good. All right, so when you click here, see? So I click OBVST, Materiali, ispita, USP. Good. All right, so I will in fact stop here, and in the next lesson we're gonna actually start working with the database. Right now we're gonna start. Right now our user interface is done and is ready to in fact pull out data from our database and then start filling it here. And we're gonna actually start with USP. So we're gonna get the success rate of the student, and we're gonna start filling in the adapter. First, we need to prepare our web service. We need afterwards to create this HTTP request, this HTTP class, and call these web services in order for us to receive a JSON object, which we're gonna parse it later and display it right here. All right, so thanks a lot for your attention this lesson, and see you in the next time.